More than 1.600 cases of alleged sexual offenses and domestic violence involving Met Police employees are being examined. The cases are being closely examined after it was discovered that a serving Metropolitan Police officer was one of Britain's most frequent sex offenders. More than 1,600 cases of alleged sexual offenses or domestic abuse involving Metropolitan Police officers and employees are being investigated. One of Britain's most frequent sexual offenders turned out to be a serving cop. PC following attacks on 12 women, David Carrick, also known as Bitch D Dave to his co-workers, acknowledged to scores of rapes and other sexual offenses. He admitted 49 charges, including 24 rape counts, for crimes committed over an 18-year period. The Met Police has now said a total of 1,633 cases involving 1,071 officers and staff are set to be reviewed. The force said that accusations ranging from arguments to the most serious sexual crimes from the last 10 years are being checked to make sure that the appropriate decisions were made. Scotland Yard added that most officers whose cases are reviewed will remain on duty without being subject to restrictions while the inquiries are carried out. A spokesman said, in the event that information was to emerge from a review that raised concerns, then an officer or member of staff status would be reconsidered without delay. All new allegations against officers and staff are subject to robust risk management, including restrictions and suspension where appropriate. It comes after Downing Street said Carrick's crimes were appalling and urged forces to root out criminal officers to restore the public's trust, which has been shattered. Met Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley said the force had failed and Carrick should not have been a police officer. The force has apologized after it emerged Carrick came to the attention of officers over 9 previous incidents, including claims of rape and domestic violence, but faced no criminal sanctions or misconduct findings over those allegations. Carrick joined the Met in August 2001 after serving with the Army and worked with the force's Parliamentary and Diplomatic Command from 2009. The armed officer, whose role included policing parliamentary, government and diplomatic premises, was only suspended after a second rape complaint was made against him in October 2021. The Met said Carrick was vetted in 2001 and again in 2017, and passed on both occasions. The court heard that Carrick met some of his victims through online dating sites, such as Tinder and Badoo, or during social occasions, and used his position as a police officer to gain their trust. The 48-year-old admitted raping 9 of the women, some on multiple occasions over months or years, with many of those attacks involving violence that would have left them physically injured. Some victims were locked in a small cupboard under the stairs in his Hertfordshire home for hours without food or forced to clean his house naked. Carrick whipped one woman with a belt, urinated on some of his victims, and told them when they could eat and sleep. He called women fat and lazy or his slave as he controlled them financially, isolated them from friends and family, and forbade them from speaking with other men or even their own children. The Metropolitan Police had already faced heavy criticism of its internal disciplinary procedures, with Baroness Casey finding the system is racist and misogynist. Baroness Casey also found that allegations of sexual misconduct or discrimination are less likely to result in a case to answer than other claims. The peer said that some officers and staff were getting away with misconduct and even criminal behavior. Meanwhile, Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley had previously said he believes hundreds of corrupt officers are serving within the force and should be sacked. National concerns have also been raised about how police forces deal with allegations of domestic abuse made against officers and staff. Watchdogs found that there were systemic weaknesses in the way that the claims are dealt with following a so-called super complaint, a system used to raise wider issues in policing, made by women's justice campaigners.